championship so close you can taste it.
Oliver Askew has won the Freedom 100.
Side by side. And your new champion, Christian Rasmussen. Folks, time to get things underway here back at the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center. One of our guests from the Michael D. Orlando team here to join me and give us the call to fire. 23 drivers set to go. I'll take the opportunity to introduce Sadir Pai, who will give us the call to fire the engines.
Road to Indy drivers, start your engines.
And there it is. The engines will fire down on pit lane. Sadir, thank you so much for joining me here. And we are set to go racing. The drivers firing up their engines, and we'll get things underway. Sadir, thank you again so much. Don't forget your sunglasses. Great to have him up here. The D. Orlando family with a bunch of guests here this weekend. We say hello to all of those of you down trackside, ready to watch Michael take off from the pole position. Great run for him, and we are ready to get things underway. The final race of the weekend for the drivers in USF 2000 from here. Just the finale at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course on the first weekend of October, and a potential for Kiko Porto to secure the championship here today. We'll see whether or not he's able to pull the trigger on that. It all depends on if he's able to finish in front of Michael D. Orlando by a specific number of points. Diane Swintel, our media coordinators here for the series, has got a points possibility spreadsheet laid out for me right now, so I'll make sure I have a look. Porto with a 51-point lead coming in. He needs essentially to have a 67-point lead because 66 points, the most you can gain on any one race. 30 for the race win, 1 bonus point for pole, 1 bonus point for leading the most laps, and 1 bonus point as well for the fastest lap of the race. So 33 points on offer any race. That means that when we go to Mid-Ohio for the doubleheader, there will be only 66 points up for grabs. If he has 67 points at the end of today, Kiko Porto will not be able to be challenged, overtaken in the championship, and he would be the first driver to score and confirm a championship here in 2021 on the road to Indy, presented by Cooper Tires. Once again, those of you joining us, my name is Rob Howden. I expect to potentially be joined by Parker Thompson as my driver analyst once he gets an opportunity to get up here into the booth. Otherwise, we're just going to go racing. Drivers are getting set to go here, warming those tires up a little bit. And I simply cannot believe that we're in essentially exactly the same situation we were in the race earlier today. We are on wet weather tires, and the track to me looks completely dry to a certain extent in a lot of these areas. They elected to go with the rain tires. That will really bring a question to if any of the drivers or anybody elects to come in and get tires. And I'm looking down there already. I think Turn 3 Motorsports going to do it again. They're already laid out. I like this call. You got to roll the dice. It's all about a quick stop to get the job done. We'll see who they decide to bring in to potentially shock them up with the dry tires. This track looks a lot drier than it was, I think, even the start of race number 2 earlier today. Drivers slowly circulating around. You know for sure that everybody's going to be radioing into their crew saying, this is what I think we've got tire-wise. The official call, though, from race control was to start on the wets. So everybody on those treaded rain tires. If you're up front, I don't know that it's a call you make, but I believe at least one of the drivers for Turn 3 is going to come in here and put fresh rubber on. We'll see who it ends up being, but could be an interesting day to see what that driver's able to do. Another lap around the racetrack. I believe we'll go green this next time by. Drivers navigating their way through turn number 11 and 12. That's the only thing about if the track is significantly damp, to send them out on slick tires, you almost have to have a completely dry racetrack, because all it takes is that, into turn number 1, somebody gets loose up front, and you end up collecting a lot of cars, and it's a lot of damage. At the very least, with the rain tires on, you know that everybody's going to have grip in that opening corner. You're not going to see guys sliding off the racetrack. There is quite a bit of, there is some standing water off to the side. Some of these guys are going to be able to get into, but again, this could open the door for someone to pull the trigger again, come in, get some tires on quickly, and get out there and step things up. The only thing that happened, we had that light mist throughout the entire, a little bit of a mist throughout the entire race. And so even those that went to the dry tires, while they were 3 or 4 seconds quicker, they weren't the 7, 8, 10 seconds faster than they would be in a full dry session. So if indeed this track goes dry, we don't have any kind of precipitation or moisture throughout the race, the guys that put on that rubber would very potentially get a chance to close up pretty quickly. Miles Rowe back in the race car. Not that much time to sit on it and celebrate his first victory in USF 2000. That unbelievable drive. Looking to see whether or not the Force Indy crew thinking potentially about doing it as well. There's a couple of teams I think that are laid out and set to go. We may see it out of Jay Howard Driver Development too. Maybe even the Mike Myers team. Michael Myers Racing could potentially be going to it as well. Driver starting further back in the pack. If you're starting up front, you may not want to roll the dice. But we may see a number of drivers down here on pit lane for fresh rubber. Four drivers still essentially in the mathematical position to win the championship. Actually, I don't know that Christian Brooks is 102 points back right now. Only 99 points still up for grabs. Make that 98 as Michael D'Orlando, of course, with the pole already. So I think that Christian Brooks mathematically out of the championship chase now. Still a chance to win some races, though. Pace car heading to the pit lane. D'Orlando will set the field loose when he rolls back out of turn number 12. It'll be his turn to get things fired up. He sets the pace. 23 USF 2000 drivers ready to go here at New Jersey Motorsports Park for their final race of the triple header. Out of the final corner. D'Orlando ready to fire things up. Into that staging zone. Green, green, green. And a solid start for D'Orlando. Big one as well for Pearson. Josh Pearson going to try to tuck his way in there as well. They'll fan out at least 5 wide. Christian Brooks looking to the inside there, all the way to the inside. Getting through turn number 1 thus far clean. Into turn number 2 right now. A little tougher coming through 2. Back down the hill to 3. Again, getting an opportunity to get a feel for this racetrack now. A couple of drivers sliding through to get a couple of spots there. Parker Thompson back in here to join me. We'll come to Parker here momentarily. We'll get this first lap in the books first. We'll see if any drivers do come down pit lane. Good possibility to see that. Christian Brooks getting super aggressive further back, trying to make a move to the inside of Eli Navarro coming up into turn number 4 as they work their way down here. Again, opening lap. Good start here for Michael D'Orlando. He needs a race win to keep himself in the championship contention. Kiko Porto with a great handle on it right now, 51 points up. But with D'Orlando potentially scoring a win, that would be big for the young driver out of Hartsdale, New York. Again, which drivers will peel off? Let's hold this shot here when they come back around, because this is what's going to show us which drivers end up coming off into pit lane. You can see how that track is starting to dry quite a bit through the racing line of turn number 11. 11A and 11B, leaders working their way through now. Will any drivers tuck off? Yes. Couple takers already. 1, 2, 3, make it 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers coming in for fresh rubber. Giddy up, Parker Thompson. This is about to get good.
Wow, it is good. Lots to focus on. Already the leaders up front are going for the water down the front straightaway, so you know they're finding it.
Jace Denmark, Yuvan Sundaramurthy. Sundaramurthy's in the championship fight. He's into pit lane here as well. Looks like one driver potentially missing his pit spot. He's going to have to potentially go all the way around. That was Peter Vodanovich.
Oh.
Peter Vodanovich missed the pit. No, it's Bejoy Garg. Garg missed his pit. Didn't come into the correct pit. Either that or Vodanovich maybe didn't go far enough through. But Garg's going to have to go back around. A number of drivers. Kent Vaccaro, Peter Vodanovich.
We've got leaders in turn 7, so it's the race to get the tires on.
I like that. And indeed, it looks to me, I think the 34 as well, doing that as well. And of course, the 34 is Dylan Christie. He's the one that did it before, so he's already felt it. Christie's already down and away. Let's see what the Pabst driver's getting them rolling as well. Yep.
Whoa, Yuvan beats him out.
Is that Denmark still in there? Or Denmark has rolled as well. But
yep, Denmark rolled. Yuvan's leading them.
Yep.
Then you've got the 2 Jay Howard cars, the turn 3 in the Jay Howard car. And here come the leaders.
Here come the leaders, in fact. And I'll tell you, side-by-side action there for Christian Brooks. Slower stop for Vaccaro. He'll go down a lap. Christian Brooks scrapping it out big time there. And that was, I believe, with Prescott Campbell. So indeed, D'Orlando still the leader, but what is going to happen? It's going to be all about what kind of lap times these guys that came in to get fresh rubber, what can they do? And man, Parker, what do you think about the call of bringing in Juven sooner and Murley? Almost like, hey, you know what? I'm 82 points back. Let's roll the dice. I'm starting deeper in the field. I want to say he started back quite a ways in the 12th position. Let's roll the dice and see if we can't win this thing.
I think it's a great call from Pabst.
I do too.
I mean, Juven's got the pace on dry. You know that he's not a midfielder. He should be at the front anyway. They had a tough qualifying. That is the only strategy for him to really get back in this ball game.
I agree. He needs as many points as he possibly can here and to work his way forward. So he does have those fresh Cooper tires on the stickers. This track drying up significantly now as we've seen a look around the entire facility.
And interesting to note, you've got Kiko Porto back in 5th. You've got Spike Kohlbecker right there, Cape Motorsports, his teammate in the championship battle leading this race. If I was Kiko, I'd be going, uh-oh, that white and red car behind me, that doesn't look good.
Drivers coming onto the front straightaway once again here. Again, there are the drivers that came out.
Well, we've got that battle for the lead there, Rob. D'Orlando obviously moving over twice down the front straightaway on Nolan. We'll see how that progresses.
Closing up a little bit as well on that is Dylan Christie, the number 34, as he was able to get back on track as well. It stayed out. Oh, here comes Christian Brooks. Brooks is into pit lane as well, right in front of us here. So Brooks comes in. The reins are going to come off for Christian Brooks. They'll get those tires back on. So the driver who is, again, as I said, already out of the championship contention, 102 points back with only 91 points, 98 points rather, still on offer. They've got the fronts done already for him. They're going to go to work now getting the rear quick jack up here for Christian Brooks. Dialing things in right now. The rear is up. Let's see what he's able to do again. Christian Brooks was having a really good battle, scrapping it out. Actually, I believe right in there with Prescott Campbell, but he has now fallen to the tail. And they'll get those tires on as quick as they possibly can for Christian Brooks. Quicker the better to get things dialed in, but you got to take your time in getting these tires changed. They're right in front of us now.
Yeah.
Leaders, I think, coming on. No, these are the other cars that came in already. They're struggling with the right rear. Not a good stop at all right now for Christian Brooks, and it's not working. They had not got that stop done quickly, and he is well back.
There's the leaders.
He's going to lose a lap.
But here we've got this battle we got to look into. Nolan Siegel looking around the outside. He's going to throw it in deep here. Oh!
Not quite able to do it, staying on the outside of Michael D'Orlando.
Still
up on the rumbles, 4 wheels off the track on the outside, and that is going to bring Josh Pearson back into the fight as well. Not a good stop for the exclusive Autosport crew. They've got Billy Fraser in here as well. They'll go to work on trying to get him dialed in and back out onto the racetrack. And again, it's all about having the pace, and we're watching to see how fast they can be on those slick tires. We'll update you soon, but this is the gaggle we're watching right now. Parker, what a lead group. D'Orlando, Siegel, Pearson, Green, Porto, and I want to say Prescott Campbell in there as well.
Yeah, the top 6 essentially battling for the lead right now. Look at Siegel. Oh!
Thought about the inside going into turn number 6.
All over him.
Yeah, Nolan Siegel wants that first win. He has not yet won on the road to Indy. Wants to pull the trigger and get the job done. Siegel, all over your leader right now.
And what's going to be really interesting, Rob, if we get a caution, there is enough cars out there that have pace on slick tires. Leaders are going to be in trouble. Here we go. Here's the gaggle. Wow. Too wide coming through the last complex. Siegel got a good run here coming through the last corner. This is going to be it.
Watch him coming out on the front straightaway here. Can Siegel get that run? Down to the bottom of the racetrack goes D'Orlando on those wet tires. Siegel's going to run around the outside. D'Orlando's trying to make it real hard. One of our drivers coming right out in front of him. That might be Billy Fraser. Side by side, Siegel's got the outside again. 4 wheels off. Can't quite hold it. Siegel throwing it into turn number 2 on the outside. Unbelievable car control for Nolan Siegel, but he's throwing everything at them right now.
Well, it's going to take one more time by. He's got the pace. He just needs another half a car going into turn 1, and he'll have that job done.
I totally agree with you. Gets that run around the outside, just not able to quite make it stick. If he can keep it on the racetrack and not slide off, I think he'll have the position. But you can be sure that D'Orlando's not giving him any room on the exit of that corner either.
No, and then back we've got Josh Pearson that's now moved up to 3rd place ahead of Josh Green has passed Josh Pearson for third place. This is a battle at the front.
Good stuff here again. Remember, the track significantly dry, and we literally have these guys on the rain tires right now. We'll pick up some of the speeds of the guys. So they're turning 127s. Who else? Juven Sooner-Murthy, a 120.0. 7 seconds faster, and Sooner-Murthy is 56 seconds back. But there's still 14 laps to go.
Well, and it's so compacted right now, I can see that we might be getting a yellow. The racing's getting tough.
You think,
see,
do you?
yeah,
All right.
and I'm going, wow, Juven's in a pretty good spot on slick tires, 7 seconds quicker. Look at this again, Nolan Siegel to the outside down into turn 1. Third time's a charm.
He's trying to keep him pinched down.
Yellow flag, though, Rob. Yellow flag in turn 1.
You're saying potential
There's a yellow flag.
Driver off in turn number 1, so they have not able to make that pass. They're trying to pick up which driver was involved in the incident there in turn 1. Not quite sure. We'll try to see if they can come back around. So an issue in turn 1, as Parker had said, the yellow flag was flying. Nolan Siegel had to back out of it. You can see that it's still the lead here for Michael D'Orlando. But that lead group all the way back to Prescott Campbell. D'Orlando, Siegel, Green, Pearson, Porto, and Campbell. Top 6 drivers all separated by about 2.5 seconds. Nathan Bird into pit lane as well. They're going to put the fresh tires on for him.
What a race we've got going on. We've got trouble. Oh, no, he's just finding water.
Yeah, that was Eli Navarro into the inside of the racetrack to try to cool those tires off. Really strong move for the kid just out of the Lucas Oil School of Racing.
Yeah, it is a strong move.
Right.
I don't know why the
Good
leaders
call.
aren't doing it.
Exactly. Getting in there, you have to cool these tires off any way you can. We can see how dry the track is getting. Anytime you can potentially get those tires cooled off, you're going to get them to last a bit longer. These guys up front are going to be sitting ducks. Juven Sooner-Murthy's coming. He's into 11th. This will be very interesting if Juven can find his way to the lead after that pit stop. Good call for Pabst Racing as well.
A little bit more breathing room here for Michael, but it's Nolan still there, still having to defend. Nolan looking to the inside this time, can't get the job done.
Yeah, hard pass. Yeah, almost like you said, we've talked about it all weekend. You got to get that run to make them block to the inside. Then you got to run the outside of the racetrack. Really hard to make that pass to the bottom unless you're right on their gearbox. But if you're on their gearbox, they're going to the inside of the racetrack for sure.
For Michael, every lap he can keep Nolan Siegel behind him. That's another lap in the books that Nolan's going to have to deal with a lot of tire deg on those front Cooper tires, the wet. You still get tire deg even with rain tires, even behind somebody. It's still affecting him a lot. So every lap he can put in the books is one lap closer to that checkered flag.
Evan Stammer into pit lane to put the stickers on their car. Michael Myers heading back out, as is Nathan Bird. If you're further back in the pack, you can roll the dice and come in. If you're in that lead group, this top 6, they just can't do it. They have to stay where they are and race. Otherwise, they're going to find yourself further back. Miles Rowe moving his way up as well. It looks to be Miles potentially with a couple of spots there. Number of drivers more into pit lane. So we'll give you an update again as we're just working lap number 8 right now.
Billy Fraser looks like the first driver to crack into the teens.
Yeah, 119, you're right, .985 for Billy Fraser, currently in the 16th spot.
But here we go. Nolan Siegel's got a good run this time by on Michael D'Orlando.
Let's watch it as they come onto the front straightaway. D'Orlando to the bottom of the racetrack. There goes Siegel, side by side, coming down the front straight.
Oh, they touch.
And he's going to try to come over. They do touch coming into the corner. And over there on the outside, Siegel holds onto the spot. This time, Nolan Siegel's through. Book it. New leader. Nolan Siegel for D-Force Racing. Look at him. Oh, D'Orlando goes 4 wheels off. He'll lose another spot. Green to the inside of turn number 3. So right into the entry of 3A, B, and C. Green able to take the spot as D'Orlando goes 4 wheels off on the outside. Beautiful pass there by the Palo Alto, California driver Nolan Siegel, Parker, after touching going into the brake zone.
Yeah, that was hair raising. I'm sure Nolan's going, oh, I didn't want to do that.
That's right.
But Michael came back over and squeezed him. They touched. I wonder if that had anything to do with Michael going off, maybe knocked the toe out. Car feels a little weird through turn 2, and he throws it off there.
Josh Green now up into the second spot. In fact, here comes an attack further back. I want to say these are some of the cars I think that have the fresher tires. I think was Kent Vaccaro.
Really?
I think it's got himself in there as well. Vaccaro trying to unlap himself. Vaccaro in the Miller Vinatieri Motorsport machine. He is on the slick tires, like so many of the drivers from the second half on back are. How about Juven Sooner-Murthy? 10th position, turned a 120.3, 5 seconds faster than the leader last time by. He's only 37 seconds back with 10 to go.
Wow.
Heads up for Yuvan Sundaramurthy. Yeah, here's Vaccaro. He's going to go by as well. Look at Vaccaro's in the red machine, the number 16. Number of drivers going low to try to get some heat in the tires. Right in the middle of that fight there as well is Christian Brooks on the fresh rubber, but he went a lap down.
What a race, Rob. I can't remember seeing 2 USF races with this much action.
Well, you weren't here when we started. Literally, as I'm doing the intro, it was exactly the same track, if not even a little bit drier. You had to go with the reins. Good call, though, by race control, because you can't go down with a damp track into one and toss everybody off and have a ton of damage and cost these guys a lot of money. You know it's safer going with the wets, but the guys quickly coming in to put on the dries.
Wild. And we see the fastest times right now, 1:24.4 for Siegel.
Yeah,
and let's see what Fraser's got. Fraser and Yuvan.
Yeah, 120 for Billy Fraser. He's currently into 15th. Yeah, 120 for Jace Denmark, for Christian Weir, for Yuvan Sundaramurthy. They're 10th, 11th, and 12th. Those guys are going to the top of the charts here, folks. This is going to be an interesting finish. Halfway, 10 down, 10 to go. Final USF 2000 race of the weekend.
So, I mean, predictions here. Nolan Siegel looks pretty comfortable out front, but we got to start running the calculations.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
5 seconds a lap times 10.
Time to do some math.
All right.
Yeah, that's 50 seconds. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
And they'll be there very quickly. They're only 33 seconds back right now.
Wow.
Exactly.
So this is, I mean, it's game on right now.
Yeah, we're literally talking 7 laps to have Yuvan Sundaramurthy to the lead. Great call by that crew. Again, he's 33 seconds back all total, 21 seconds back at Trey Burke. Burke's still out there on the wets. But Sundaramurthy, Weir, Denmark, Vodanovic, Christie, Vaccaro, all with a chance to get forward.
And I have to think the only reason they're running 120s now is in traffic.
Yes,
they're
exactly
dealing with a lot of traffic. Now, for those of you at home, obviously, when you have to pass off the line, that's not the dry spot, right? So the other part, too, is it's tough, is the line that they're trying to pass on with slick tires is usually the wet one.
That's the key. That's the issue. Exactly that. You've got to almost wait every time to the front straightaway where you're dry on the entire racetrack. Sun actually starting to come out a bit here, too. That's going to dry this track even more, and it's going to make it tough for Nolan Siegel. Again, the drivers up front, when you're in that lead group, you just can't roll the dice and come in and make the change. You simply can't do it. You've already lost enough time. If you're going to go to the wets, you had to go early to give yourself a chance to close back up. And at this point here, we're seeing Kent Vaccaro finally unlap himself, so he's out front. But still, who else we got coming through there? We'll try to figure out as they come back around. There's a number of drivers working their way back through. Vaccaro being one of them, as we said. Yeah, Miles Rowe as well. Thomas Nepvu.
And then there's the
Christian
lead group
Brooks,
right there.
Yeah, here's the lead group coming. Nolan Siegel still leading the way in that number 10 machine. Green second, D'Orlando third, Pearson fourth, Porto fifth, and Prescott Campbell sixth. 3.2 seconds back for Spike Kohlbecker. Kohlbecker, I believe, on the wets as well still.
So the next group of cars that Yuvan now just crossing start-finish is going to hit is going to be that lead pack of 10.
Isn't that crazy?
It is nuts.
It's nuts. He is 13 seconds behind the next group, and that will be Trey Burke, Eli Navarro, and Spike Kohlbecker. That's the next 3 for Yuvan Sundaramurthy, turning a 121.2, about 4 seconds faster than Nolan Siegel. But 4 seconds not the same as 5 or 6 every time, right? We only got 8 laps to go. That's 32 seconds worth of gap he'll bring up. He's 26 back, about 6 seconds to play with, maybe 1 or 2 laps. He'll have to be pushing hard and passing every time he possibly can.
Well, and it's going to be interesting to see how those rain tires hold up in this dry temperature, especially with that sun out.
Agreed, completely. The sun coming out, really going to beat on him. The drivers coming across the line now are all those who have made the move to the dry tires. It's not going to be a second victory for Miles Rowe. He's back in 17th. Thomas Nepvu in 18th. Christian Brooks 19th. Bajoy Garg 20th. Nolan Siegel still out front to win that number 10. Sundaramurthy still 10th spot. 121.2. Actually, we'll see where here, he just came across the line right now. Yeah, there's Sundaramurthy just across the line there now.
120.8.
Wow, again, over 4 seconds faster. No, over 3 seconds faster.
But Nolan is the pace of the field on those rain tires at a 124.1. Everybody else is
Agreed. Yeah.
high 24s, low 25s. So I think he does have about a 4-second gap. He's definitely on for what would be a podium.
Well, you think about the fact, too, that he finished in the podium earlier today in that race that was going dry. So they could say, hey, what could we have done to make that car a little bit better for you, knowing that the situation could be very similar. So, indeed, they've done the job for sure for Siegel. Out by a 4-second lead now in the number 10. Siegel looking for his first Road to Indy victory.
Long time coming for Siegel. Many poles, many races led, many laps led.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he deserves a shot at a race win and is getting the job done here right now. Yuven Sundar-Murthy, of course, watching the math on this one as he tries to close up. 23 seconds back last time by. Big lead for Siegel. As you can see him long gone already through turn number 1. Josh Green into that second spot. Navarro and Burke again all the way down the bottom of the racetrack searching for some kind of moisture to help those tires out. And here comes Sundar-Murthy. I can't wait to see what kind of lap times we get now for Sundar-Murthy. Again, 23 seconds back of the leaders last time by, waiting for live timing to update. 20 seconds back. 6 to go, 20 seconds back, and he did a 20.6 to a 23.9. Wow, only 2.6 seconds faster this time.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, that just shows you the degradation of even the slick tires, right?
Make that 3.3. Pardon me,
Yep.
3.3. I went the other way at it. So 3.3 still. Is that enough with 6 to go? It really isn't. He's got to find some more pace.
It's going to be so tough. And, Rob, we've covered this all weekend. It's the story of this track. So tough to pass. And even when he catches him, I know he's on a different tire set, but 3 seconds isn't even enough to make easy work of everybody. It's still going to take a decent amount of time to pick his way through the field and up onto the podium.
He literally has to get a couple of guys on the straightaway every lap now once he gets there. I don't know that Yuven's going to be able to get all the way. I like the fact that Pabst rolled the dice a little bit. Kiko Porto now running, where is Kiko Porto on track? 5th, Michael D'Orlando 3rd. So it won't be a clinch as they run on the racetrack right now. Let me have a quick look here at the 3rd and 5th. It looks like it'll be 46 points heading to Mid-Ohio. Nice little advantage, but still enough. He has some troubles. D'Orlando still with a shot at it. Michael D'Orlando holding on to that P3 position right now, which would keep him in championship contention heading to the finale in the first weekend of October.
You know, if you're Michael, though, you've got to be disappointed starting on pole twice and not being able to capitalize. I think he had a real shot to put some pressure back on Kiko. And Kiko back in 5th, this would have been the race to do it.
And had we had a straight dry race, you figure starting from pole, good opportunity for him to stretch away. But again, with the weird conditions we had in both the races today, track fully dry right now. These guys just holding on. You see Navarro again down to the bottom there trying to see if he can't get a little bit of moisture onto those tires, cool them off a little bit. Siegel leading by 4.6 seconds. Handful of laps remaining. Sundar-Murthy getting ready to close up now. Miles Rowe and Christian Brooks getting by Kent Vaccaro. That's later on. Those are the drivers that didn't have great stops and eventually coming to the tail of the field. They did go a lap down, were able to unlap themselves, but quite a ways back. Siegel across the line. Big, massive lead now over Josh Green, who's looked really good all weekend. D'Orlando's got the room right now over Josh Pearson. Kiko Porto 5th, Prescott Campbell 6th. Let's look at this next group, though. Here comes Yuven.
Yeah,
he's already got a couple of guys, yeah. He's already got Burke.
They're 3 wide.
Yuven's got to send it in turn number 1. He knows it. Trying to go around the outside of the bow. He's going to get at least, I think it might have got Kohlbecker there too, potentially.
Yeah.
So Yuven Sundar-Murthy taking full advantage of those dry tires, and he gets another pass down. That was Kohlbecker to get by on the inside. That was a big pass there to get through those guys in one lap.
That is up to 7th, Rob.
Yeah.
There's so you're telling me there's a chance.
That's exactly right. Good call from my man Pepper Brooks over here. Nolan Siegel leading the way, but is it enough? And to be honest, listen, we're talking about Sundar-Murthy being, 17 seconds back. That's of the leader. He's only 6 seconds behind Green and D'Orlando. That's the other thing to look at. A potential podium for sure.
Well, and on top of that, Siegel's got about a half a second to a second a lap faster than anybody.
Yep.
So the delta is in Juven's favor here to pop on the podium, and what a story that would be.
Last lap, 120.6. Last lap for D'Orlando, 125.3. Almost 5 seconds faster, and he's not even that far back right now. So a good opportunity for Sundar Amurthy to put this Pabst racing machine on the box. He's closing right now. Actually, he's already up to Prescott Campbell. Big run in the straightaway. You can check them here, folks. There it is. Sundar Amurthy as he turned into turn 1, almost up there on Prescott Campbell into turn number 2, and he's on the gearbox already, thinking about the inside of turn number 3. Here goes Sundar Amurthy to the inside, side by side. Does he come out the other side? They were side by side going to 3B, just waiting for the top of the hill, and he's through. Sundar Amurthy. There he is right there. Yep, he is through.
Well, and we'll note, too, as he gets up there, he's got Josh Pearson in 4th, which I'm sure another Pabst racing car is going to help him out.
Yeah.
They're probably going to want to get on the box together.
Have you ever had a chance to be in a situation like this where everybody else is on the reins and you got the right call, even in karting?
No.
No?
Well, maybe a long time ago, but
Good fight there further back. Couple guys going head-to-head. That's right in front of Sundar Amurthy, I think, is it
it is
not?
right in front of him.
We'll see as they come back around. That was a side-by-side battle. I don't know who that was. Would have been in front of that. Might have been a couple of the slower cars. We'll pick them up as they come back through here. Leader. Across the line, Siegel. Green. Big gap back then to Michael D'Orlando as he's onto the front straightaway.
Wow.
But Sundar Amurthy is rolling. He is already up close to the number 12 of Kiko Porto. And listen, championship-wise, if Sundar Amurthy gets ahead of Porto but can't catch D'Orlando, that's good for him as well, for D'Orlando.
Very good for
A
D'Orlando.
little extra point action happening.
Juven's already through Prescott Campbell, I believe. Or is it Kiko Porto? He's through Kiko.
Yeah, he's got by Kiko Porto already. He is flying. But there's only 2 laps to go. So this could be an opportunity. He may not get to the podium. We'll see.
I think he's got pace. He's going to the inside of his teammate. Pearson lets him by there.
Yep. So Sundar Amurthy already into 4th spot. Now trying to find the podium position from D'Orlando. And I don't know that he's going to be able to hold him back. I just think that these guys are so far off. And Juven is just flying here right now. Juven Sundar Amurthy, the team bringing him in on the first lap, second lap, I believe, putting on fresh sticker Coopers, allowing him to get out there and get at it.
You know, and kudos to Pap Racing. That's a call that can go so wrong as we've seen it go for just about every other team.
Trying to see if they can't keep Juven in the championship chase. I don't know that he'll be able to do that right now. If he ends up getting to 3rd, that would be 295 points. And right now, Porto in the 6th spot, that would be 75 points. And that means he would be out of contention. He gets only 66 points up for grabs. So
look at this. He's already there on D'Orlando. He goes to the outside. This is going to be a pretty easy drive around the outside, I believe.
it is.
D'Orlando squeezes him down to the grass, though.
D'Orlando not wanting to give it up in turn 1, but just can't quite get it done. Further back, those guys still scrapping out. Other drivers trying to come through. Christian Weir, again, one of the other drivers that put the tires on. Jace Denmark. Denmark's to 7th. Weir now 8th. Campbell down to 9th. Kohlbecker 10th. The drivers who did put on the tires able to get themselves forward. Sundar Amurthy up into the 3rd spot. There's just no way he's still there. They're 12 seconds behind. Final lap on the racetrack, folks, for Nolan Siegel. We saw a huge first win for Miles Rowe in race number 2. Race number 3, the kid that's been here, his 3rd year in the series, trying to get that first victory. Will it be the day for Nolan Siegel as he works his way out of the final couple of corners here? Looking for Siegel to come through turn number 10. Here he is. Nolan Siegel for D-Force Racing. They got a win earlier in the weekend with Kiko Porto. But coming out of the final corner right now, checker flag in the hands of our starter, Aaron Lykinson, for the first time in his career, the winner. Nolan Siegel getting the win here at New Jersey Motorsports Park. Josh Green coming home for 2nd spot. 3rd goes to Juven Sundar Amurthy. Battle there for 4th position.
Wow.
A lot of scrapping coming across the line here. Sundar Amurthy 3rd, D'Orlando 4th, Josh Pearson 5th, Kiko Porto 6th. No, Porto's falling down the order. I think Kiko lost a couple more spots as Christian Weir 6th, Jace Denmark 7th.
Wow.
Porto down to 8th. So 4th and 8th What's that do for the points? 323 to 368. Yeah, make it 45 points now.
That's something.
That is something. There's an opportunity still. As you said, there's a chance.
There's a chance. There's a crack of light.
That's it. Nolan Siegel, though, what a tremendous drive for Nolan, turning the really good lap times, even with those rains, better than anybody else on the rain tires.
Well, and Rob, let's talk about the fact that, this has been such a long time coming. It was very cool to see Miles Rowe get that breakthrough win, but Nolan has deserved a win now for, it's interesting. I believe he got his first pole here last year in the wet.
That's right.
If I'm not mistaken.
Well, did he not come in and put the tires on?
He did, halfway through the race.
That's what I thought.
Put the tires on, started on pole, led most of the race, and then made a couple mistakes and didn't end up taking that win. So really cool to see him get a well-deserved win. I've talked to him many a times, and he's going, man, it's just I need a few things to click for me.
Yeah. I'm going to head down to Titus Victory Lane, and we'll get a chance to talk to the race winner.
Sounds great, Rob. See you soon, and congratulations to Nolan Siegel.
USF made its debut in Indy Pro 2000 at Worldwide Technology Raceway. A big win for Nolan Siegel. Always great to see a young driver get that first victory after years of trying, digging in. What a run for Hubin Suter and Worthy as well. That was a ton of fun to watch. Past racing making a great call there. And not just a call, you have to have a flawless pit stop and be able to leverage what they did. And they were able to get Hubin out there quickly. And he actually was on a tear over those final laps. Of course, the guys with the rains that were pretty much long gone. And Hubin's car coming in, he put on a show for sure, able to make a great pass as well on Michael D. Orlando to go to third spot. Kiko Porto falling down a couple of positions late in the run as well. Has a great, great run for Christian Weir, turn 3 Motorsport, making a change to the tires as well. James Denmark getting by him as well. So both those drivers slipping by Kiko Porto on the final lap. So that drops Porto down to 8th. And of course, Di Orlando in 4th. I believe 45 points unofficially, the gap between 1st and 2nd now as we head to Mid-Ohio. 66 points on offer in the finale, the doubleheader weekend. So the championship still most definitely up for grabs here in the Cooper Tires USF 2000 Championship. Still one more race to go in the program as Indy Pro 2000 still to go, but we'll bring our drivers over here to get things underway for the podium presentation. Getting our drivers over here. And we'll get things underway from Victory Lane. So folks, let's get things underway down here in Victory Lane. We'll have Mr. Dan Anderson help us out here with the trophy presentations for our drivers. Let's get things rolling because our drivers are ready to go. Finishing in third spot today, folks. Put on fresh tires, lap number 1. Stormed his way back to the field. What a great call for Pabst Racing. A great run for Human Sooner Worthy. Finishing in third. Leveraging those tires, storming through it. A great pass at the very end of the race to get up onto the podium here. Great run for him. Excellent job for Human coming home P3. Driver coming home in second fast all weekend long, folks. Finishing in second spot for Turn 3 Motorsport, Josh Prix. Great run for Josh, able to get out of that early battle. 6 drivers scrapping it out up front. Able to get him his way through there, and they obviously had a good setup on those the rain tires here. Very tough, of course, the track going dry very quickly. But the guy on top of the box right now, these tires look pretty chewed by the end, but he did a great job. Folks, I love doing this when it's the first win. Everybody, a big round of applause. First ever win for Nolan Siegel! Dan Anderson giving him that well-deserved first place trophy. And we saw Nolan in the Indy Pro 2000 race at Worldwide Technology Raceway last weekend. Good to have him back here, capping off his career here with one more race in Ohio. Nolan, come on down here and have a quick chat with me first. Long time coming. Let me tell you how it feels. I want you to really go and say, hey, this was big for me. How did you feel the last couple laps? Overall, how did it feel?
I mean, I've been waiting for, 3 years for this, and this entire season I've had some bad luck, and I mean, the team's worked so hard, and I feel like we've done so much work, so much practice, and it's just great to be rewarded.
And a hard race to win as well. It's not like you went out on a dry track. You really talk about the conditions, because that left front tire was gone.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit damp at the beginning, and once I was kind of done racing Michael and got out into the lead, it started to dry up, and at that point it was just tire management. So, yeah, I was just trying not to slide the car, and it ended up working. So. Any thoughts over the last couple laps, knowing that win was coming? I mean, I got the countdown on the radio every lap, and it was just like, don't throw it off the track, basically.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
There it is, folks. Nolan Siegel, first win. Love that first victory. Love the emotions. And a tough race for sure as well. This is one he's going to remember. To be able to win in these kind of conditions with the tires the way they were, and the track going away. Siegel. 3 different winners in USF 2000 here this weekend. First wins, of course, for Miles Rowe and Nolan Siegel, and a great victory for Kiko Porto. And get that champagne in here. Nolan's like, listen, yeah, this is the last race. You can wash these suits before we get to Mid-Ohio. Again, love seeing these first-time winners. Guys, go at it, boys. Champagne time. Sooner Murthy's going at it. They're going after Siegel. Champagne flying for the drivers here at the Cooper Tires USF 2000 Championship. There it is. Nolan Siegel, folks, one more time. Round of applause for my race winner, Josh Green. Great run to second. And Human Sooner Worthy making things super exciting coming from deep in the field on slick tires. Congratulations to all 3 drivers. Very well-deserved runs here into the Tatis victory lane. And what a weekend it has been for the drivers in USF 2000. A championship coming down now to, I believe, just 2 drivers. It's going to be Kiko Porto versus Michael D'Orlando when we get to Mid-Ohio in the first weekend of October. And again, good though to see a guy like Nolan Siegel able to get that victory and get that, cross that off, get that monkey off his back, capping off his USF 2000 career. Again, big run for the American Nolan Siegel as he wins here today. One more race still to come after the Radical Cup as we have Indy Pro 2000, the final race of their triple header here at New Jersey Motorsports Park to cap things off and to cap off the day.